Miami Vice, those equally sexy health club TV commercials. Let's get her and her hit music out here tonight, too. Sheena, Easton! Oh, that's right. You need to have your...
Any volunteers?
Only to... Stop it, all of you! I thought they had already put your microphone on.
In this dress, it's impossible. There's no room for it. Are you receiving me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? This sounds like a date in the back of a Buick. Not that I've ever been in the back of a Buick, of course.
No.
Recently. How are you doing?
I'm just doing great now. I love what you do.
Thank you.
It is, you've got this great feisty quality, Sheena.
Well, I never back away from a fight. Put it that way. Yeah, I'm not a kind of mealy-mouthed person. My mother was a really strong woman. She raised 6 of us by herself, so she kind of taught us to be strong and, you know, have life and vitality and kind of take life and seize it. So that's what I do, I think.
Your father died when you were about, what, 10?
Yeah, he died when I was 10. So she had to work really hard, you know, in a factory to bring us up.
What is it like? Your mom's working in a factory. She's got 6 kids. She had to be a hell of a role model.
She was, and you know, you learn a lot of tricks when you were a kid. You know, 6 kids in a family. Like, whenever we would get dessert and she'd put out the cookies, there'd be 6 kids going, "That one's mine, that one's mine." So every bun in our house, every cupcake had a fingerprint in it, you know, ready before dinner.
You marked your territory.
You marked it. I still sometimes do that in posh restaurants. I have to stop myself, you know, when the dessert tray comes around, like but in a serious way, she taught me about the work ethic, you know, about you can dream really, really, really high. Because I came from a little town in Scotland where there's not an abundance of people come from there and go into the business, into music business or show business, become successful.
And what town?
But it's called Bells Hill, Scotland. It's not even on the map. It's so tiny. But she taught me, dream real high, but don't just expect it to come to you. You got to work really hard every day and go after your dreams. And I think that stayed with me, and I think it'll always keep me going throughout my life.
Oh, she must be so proud of you right now, too, Sheena, with everything that's happened. With those humble beginnings and all, you had to have done something for your mom after all the success.
Yeah. She lives in a little place, a little seaside place outside of London called Southend. She's got a little house there, but as soon as I got my recording contract and made a bit of money, I got her to retire from the factory and move there. So she was stationed there during World War II. She shot down the bombs that flew over to bomb London. So
Your mom?
Yeah, she was on the guns. Yeah, she was.
Has she got a tattoo or something? I mean, this is a woman's woman we're talking about.
She's got like a big anchor right there that says Dad. But whenever I said to her, you know, you can retire now, and where do you want to live? She had so many fond memories of that little town that she moved back there, and she's lived there now for, I guess, the 10 years that I've been doing this, and she loves it still.
Will you go back to Scotland someday?
I go back and I visit.
But to live, to stay there for the rest of your life, to have a family or whatever?
No, it depends. See, my immediate goal is to have a kid, right? Want to have a
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We want to come back and ask you, Sheena, how you're going to do that, who the donor is, and talk about this hit single you got out right now.
I'll get you a book on the subject, okay?
Sheena Easton, we come right back into the night.
into the Night, starring Rick Dees. Brought to you by S.C. Johnson Wax, makers of Lemon Pledge.
We're back with Sheena Easton, and the lovely Sheena Easton, I might add.
Thanks.
Everything is in place. Are you a perfectionist, Sheena?
Yes, terribly much so. Yeah, horrible. I mean, in my business life, it's fine because all it means is that I demand that people really put 100% into a project, which I don't think is unfair.
Right.
But in my personal life, I was even worse. I've gone through a lot of therapy and learned to not be so much of a perfectionist, but I think it comes from trying to control people. So I've learned to ease off from that. But yeah, man, unless the guy was like just perfect on everything, I would bust his chops about everything. I must have been the biggest pain in the behind to ever be with.
You actually admit that about yourself?
Yeah, I wouldn't admit it face to face with the guy. I mean,
But
he's
now,
still wrong. But right
everything.
now I can admit it. Yeah, I'm
your
terrible.
major arguments with men are about what?
Oh, just stuff. Just things. You know, about being maybe like too unyielding and stubborn, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, just like everybody argues about the same stuff, don't they? You know?
It seems to be.
Yeah,
Are you in a relationship now?
kind of.
Whoa!
No, well, when I say kind of, it's not with the person that I want to be in the relationship with.
Sheena, we got 7 viewers. We can talk intimately about it.
Okay.
Who is he? You can talk to me. I'm a doctor.
I want to have a baby, and I want the father to be Peter Jennings.
No!
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I think he's the sexiest man on television after you, of course. And, you know, he's just so trustworthy. He's the perfect father figure. And he's got that little, when he tells you really bad news, you know, he'll tell you, like, you know, the entire world has come to an end. And then he kind of looks down and he looks up and he goes, and I look at him and I go, I want that kind of man in my life, and I want him to be sitting reading Our Son or Our Daughter, the newspaper at night, and you can imagine the kid would be really bright and stuff, and like the alphabet would be A for Arafat, B for Bush, C for Congress, D for Danquil. Daddy, who was Danquil? You know, it could be really good.
Have you met Peter Jennings ever?
No, I haven't met him. I send him naked pictures and everything, and he hasn't responded.
Sheena.
But yeah, but you know, that would be
came
my
right out.
dream. It just did. Yeah. Okay. I admit it. Yeah. I'd love that, though. I'd love that. So, do you know Peter?
I do know Peter. You know?
Did you give him my number, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, I know he's married, but we could have a cheap and tawdry affair. That would be fine.
God, this is great TV. This is great TV.
It's also the truth. Unfortunately.
Let's change an abrupt gear and talk about what you've just finished, which is a great album.
Thanks.
Everybody's talking about this album. I want to show it right now because you're going to come back in just a few moments here and do what comes naturally, that's what we've been talking about. here, you see.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of that went into this, including the album cover. Send that to Peter.
She's got it. A special dedication to Peter Jennings when we come back with Sheena Easton. She's got me so screwed up. Whoa.
Still ahead, Academy Award-winning actor